He might be rolling it and we just don't know it.
Welcome to Hot Topics with Gerald Gray. I'm Greg Sullivan. This is our first installment of our bi-weekly video podcast. We've got some hot topics today, no pun intended. We've got some great stuff on the dock for today. We've got wrestling with your emotions, words of wisdom, fancy food or fancy footwork, supermarket music, and we've got a phone call from a very special guest. We're going to be calling him in a little bit.
I can't wait for that one.
Let's start it off, Gerald. I guess we'll start off with supermarket music. Growing up, a lot of music in the supermarket, jazz versions of your favorite songs. Not so much anymore.
It's very true.
Very true.
Very true. What would you put it under now, though? Like,
there's no music anymore, which is, you know, maybe it's a bunch of bickering about chia seeds and stuff.
True.
Yeah.
Stop and Shop really gets on my nerves with that.
I don't want to call you out on our first show, but it's been brought to my attention that you've never visited a Whole Foods.
Ooh, that is correct. I have not been to Whole Foods. Never.
Not been to Whole Foods.
Never.
You've never been to the little bar where you can build your own stuff, and then you weigh it and you realize that you put 13 pounds of the chicken tikka masala in there, and you just spent $48 on a two-person dinner. Not a good feeling.
It sounds like fun, though.
All right.
I've never been to a Whole Foods.
Never been to a Whole Foods.
What am I missing out on?
Have you been to a Key Foods?
Key Foods? No.
Gerald, people out there are going to know that you're lying.
No.
You've never been to a Key
Price Chopper?
Price Chopper.
Stop and Shop?
Stop and Shop.
All-time favorite, ShopRite?
ShopRite's all right.
Hannaford's? Sam's Club?
Now, you know how...
And Walmart. Love Walmart.
Walmart is not a
Throw up your
grocery
W's for the
store,
Walmart.
Gerald.
Walmart.
Oh, here he goes.
Upstate.
I guess so.
It's a
Super Walmart.
Yeah, it's a hangout spot. It's got McDonald's. You can get glasses. You can get your taxes done.
You know how there used to be sales and coupons, but now to enjoy those things, you have to be part of the club?
On your phone,
and they always
usually
ask you for the number, and I always tell them I have it, but I forgot it. And then, I guess a long time ago, or whenever I would sign up for these things, I'd never give them my real cell phone number. I'd always add a digit to the end. It was 3448. So everywhere I go, I just assume that if I did sign up, I gave them my fake cell phone number, except for Dwayne Reed, where they always ask me, "You're Kevin," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Kevin." And they like look at my ID when I buy cigarettes, and they're like, "You're not Kevin." So, you know, I guess Kevin has a lot of rewards points, but I don't want those points. I don't think they do anything.
They might do a lot, depending on how long you've been going around.
Yeah, but no one's ever been, you know, no one's ever taken a dream vacation on Dwayne Reed points.
Kevin might be living it up right now.
This guy's in St. Thomas
He's
right now.
Right by the beach.
It's like one more pina colada with my
NYC.
Dwayne Reed points. All right.
Kevin's chilling.
Next topic. We got fancy food or fancy footwork. Now this one's up for debate. I guess, you know, which one's better? What do you think?
I don't know. It all depends. Because if you get fancy food...
Fancy food is great.
I love food.
But
if it's fancy, I love it
if you
even
have
more.
fancy footwork, you seem to be able to get out of any kind of trouble. You'll notice this with a lot of our hip hop and R&B singers and dancers, whether it be Chris Brown, Michael Jackson.
Yes.
If you can dance, all is forgiven.
True. I saw Chris Brown. Tried to have a conversation with him. I couldn't because he was just pop locking. He was like, "Hey, how's it going?" I couldn't talk to him. I was like, "Yo, trying to have a serious conversation here."
You know, fancy food is great, but I would like if you could combine the two, fancy food and fancy footwork. You know, you dance around the kitchen. It's entertaining.
That is pretty cool.
You know, no pun intended, a recipe for disaster. With that, we're going to move on to our next topic. Jimmy out there, our producer. Jimmy, can you get Alan Moy on the phone, our special guest?
It's not a secret anymore.
It's not a secret anymore. I said it. It's Alan Moy. It's our special guest.
That's how we do. Right here. Hot Topics.
Hot
With
Topics.
G2?
Not to be confused
G2.
with the store Hot Topic.
No.
You got to throw the S on the end there. All right, we got Alan Moy on the phone right now. Alan Moy, how you doing? Welcome to Hot Topics with Gerald and Greg. How you doing, bud?
Hey, I'm doing very good, Gerald and Greg. It's an honor to be a part of Hot Topics with you guys, discussing some major issues going on in the world. It feels great.
All right, Gerald, I wanted to talk to Alan about some words of wisdom, one of our topics I figured we'd share with our first caller. Alan, words of wisdom. What are some words of wisdom that you find important and that you think could help our viewers on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah.
Words of wisdom. I would say, of course, always think positively. Stay positive. Because no matter.
So number one, positive thoughts.
Positive.
Always.
Positive.
Always think positive because
No
no
negative.
matter what you're going through, good or bad, there's never going to be all good and there's never going to be all bad. There's got to be some good and some bad. So there's different perspectives to look at things, and if you think of it positively, it'll help you mentally and physically.
All right,
I'm gonna
Alan.
take
That's
that
a good.
into the
That's a good
weekend.
word.
That's really good.
That's a good word of wisdom, Alan. And as per usual with all of our callers, when you hear the sound of the duck, that means your time is up. Jimmy, hit him with a sample of that duck. Wait for it.
It's buffering. That's what we call buffering.
Oh, there it is. There's the sound of the duck. If you hear that sound, that means the time is up. All right. And our next word of wisdom. Do you have any words of wisdom for our viewers out there that might not be in America? Maybe some words of wisdom to your Chinese friends. Maybe in Chinese.
It'll be the same. It'll just always be think positive.
Alan, they don't speak English.
You want me
They're
to
not
speak
going to
Chinese?
understand this. Yes.
Yes.
You want me to
we
speak
are
Chinese?
worldwide. We are worldwide on
Worldwide
Hot Topics.
Hot Topics, Alan.
Worldwide.
You seriously want me to speak Chinese on the air?
Alan,
you
they're
can
not going to
you can
understand
condense it
if
a
you
little.
don't if you're speaking English.
All right. Well, I don't know. Everyone speaks English around the world, but here's a go. So, 只要你諗嘢諗得好嘅方面睇咧，咁就世界會變得美好噶啦。And that's my word of wisdom to the Chinese friends.
That is great. That's
love
our
it.
words of
I love
wisdom.
it.
And we got time for just one more. Our special guest, Alan Moy. I'm going to ask you this right now, and then we might hear the sound of the duck, which means we're going to wrap it up. Would you rather be able to fly or be able to breathe underwater? And begin.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I would like to fly.
Where would you fly to, Alan Moy? Begin.
London, Paris, Hong Kong, Tokyo.
Interesting.
You could also swim there. Why'd you choose to fly?
I don't know. I think flying is just faster and it's more free. You get to see a lot more. When you're swimming underneath the water, all you see is fish and algae.
Now, if you could fly
Genius.
out
Genius.
there and you wanted to bring your significant other with you, would you let her fly on your back?
Yes.
Where would you put all your bags?
I would, if I had the strength to have her on my back, I would also have the strength to carry him on my arms while I'm flying.
Strong man.
Great. That's great. That's great stuff from Alan Moore
Strong
right
man.
now.
was
We
strong.
want to thank Alan. And is there anything
Strong.
else you got for Alan here?
Alan, anything special going on this weekend?
This weekend, not much besides spending some time at my significant other's house.
Working on
Well,
the babies.
she's in
That's what
for
I
a
like.
treat. As were our listeners. Thank you very much, Alan Moy. That's the sound of the duck. That's our first caller. Thank you very much, Alan Moy. We're
No
going to
problem,
hop back
okay.
into it. Have a good weekend, buddy.
You too, man.
See you next week, Alan.
All right. It's time for we got two topics left, Gerald. First
Those are?
topic, wrestling with your emotions.
Yes. That's a touchy subject.
It is a touchy subject. It's a grapple hold.
Yes.
Now,
a
when
big guy.
if you were to be in a headlock per se with your emotions, would you find that it's more of a chokehold or a camel clutch? Would you say? How do you battle out of these things?
I don't know. That's kind of hard. It's kind of hard because if your emotions have some sort of headlock, it's not much you can do to squeeze out, but you got to make it through.
And then sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about the technical.
He headlocks the mic.
Yeah,
it's
sorry
all right.
about
That's
the
our
technical
producer, Jimmy, out there. It's all right.
Hot topics. That's how we
Hot
do it.
topics right there. Yeah, sometimes it feels like emotions got you in a legs lock. Other times you're thinking, I caught feelings.
Sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes I don't.
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're allergic to nuts, and that's nuts. Next topic, Joe's day off. Joe, he is our intern here in the studio. He
Great
has,
guy.
he makes, there he is. That eagle screech means it's time for Joe's day off. Let's talk about Joe's day off. This year, Joe's one and only duty is making the schedule, and he has somehow floundered his way into giving himself every Friday off for the entire year.
Yes, 50-year-old intern.
He's 49 and a half.
True.
This year.
Okay, I will give him that. 49 and a half intern. He's been doing a great job over the last 20 years.
Fake chest hair taped to his chest.
Makes him even better guy.
Over the last few weeks, I've noticed Joe heavy on Bed Bath & Beyond searching for shower curtains.
IKEA too.
IKEA too.
You didn't see that one.
Now, are you talking about a second IKEA, like a cheaper IKEA?
No.
Or are you saying IKEA 2?
As well, also,
Okay.
in addition to.
Just making sure.
Yes.
Joe's day off. What do you think Joe's up to on his day off? I would like to think he's having some fresh pasta in some sort of small villa, but I know that he's uptown just searching for shower curtains. What do you think, Gerald?
Shower curtains. I think I overheard a conversation where he was talking about potpourri now. I think that he's starting to come full circle, with his apartment. So
wrap it around.
Yes.
Last year, he had
moved on
spoke a
from
lot
furniture.
about trying to put a hot tub on his balcony. Not only highly dangerous, but highly illegal.
It's New York City, people.
I know. A 36th floor of wherever the heck he lives. Not going to happen. Very dangerous.
You could not tell this. This guy was determined.
He was determined. But
Intern of the gods.
what got in his way was pretty much the ultimate know-how, physics, engineering, and cost of the entire project. That's what put a screeching halt to this entire project.
And he spent many of, Joe's days off.
Many of Joe's days off.
Trying to get this hot tub situation on the balcony together. And over a spaghetti dinner, he decided it wasn't a good idea.
Was not a good idea, still isn't a good idea, won't ever be a good idea. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to our first episode of Hot Topics with Gerald Gray. I'm Greg Sullivan. That sound of the eagle screech means we're all wrapped up. We will see you bi-weekly.